Friday night. It's live improv from New York City, and it's better late than never. Hey, we're going to do some improv for you throughout the evening, on and off. That means we're going to be streaming on and off. Not that we're all a little off, to be honest. And I want to introduce a wonderful cast. Hello, Sandi. And
hey,
hello,
Scotty. Hi, New York.
And New York, New York being New Yorkers go, fuck you.
Pretty much. Love it.
That means it's like aloha.
Exactly.
It means we love you. And Angélica. Hello, Angélica.
Hello.
And down there's Dawn. Hey, Dawn.
Oh, hello. It's a pleasure being here. And I must tell you that this morning I woke up at 7 a.m. and I was walking.
Waiting room.
Anyway, so didn't know I could do that, did you? And Stephanie. Hello, Stephanie. Oh,
hello.
What a nice bow. And I'm your host, Scotty Watson. So we're gonna dive right into acting, serious acting here. These four wonderful actors are going to channel characters from a very small town that I once visited called Goon River. Yeah, they're from Goon River somewhere, either United States or Canada or Mexico. And Goon River had to make a big decision. Sometimes in the life of a small town, they got to make some big decisions. What is a big decision for a small town have to make?
Open up an alternative medical center.
Open up an alternative medical center. I like that. So they were trying to decide. Let me tell you something about the people of Goon River. Nice people, but they're very opinionated. And they were trying to decide whether to open up a alternative medical center. I should always write that down or I forget. And some people were for and some people were against, but nobody was sitting on the fence. So we're going to let the actors take just a second to channel the spirits of the Goon Riverians, as they try to decide if they're going to open an alternative medical center. Right on. All right, and if you want, you can change your names underneath your face. Good. So the very first person that we're ready to meet here today is Carl Shager, PhD, MA, RSS, and TOT. Does TOT mean you're a little person, like a tot?
No, it's teacher of teachers.
Teacher of teachers. That is very interesting. Now you're a PhD.
Yeah, I thought so.
Teacher of teachers. I love that. Teach the teacher. So you're a PhD. I know what that is. What is an MA? Master's in Arts?
No, I love my mother.
You're just your ma. It just stands for ma. Okay. And RSS?
Residual steward in a
you know what, Carl?
ship.
You know what? College was a long time ago, so I'm going to give you a pass on this.
Residual steward on a ship.
Sure, that makes sense. What did you do in the town of Goon River, Carl?
Well, I was a doctor for a very long time in the University of Small Town.
Right.
And well, when they started going into different alternative styles of medicine, I jumped on the bandwagon.
So may I take it that your vote on the alternative medicine clinic was yes?
Absolutely not.
Oh, so you're against it?
Oh, absolutely.
So, Carl, why, if you're in alternative medicine, why would you be against having a clinic?
It would be competing against my already built underground practice.
Oh, underground.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm only telling you. I'm not telling anybody else. But because most people actually know me as being a regular physician.
Okay, cool. That's Good, good, good. I'm gonna go to Betty B next. Wow, that's a lot of B's behind you, Betty. Betty, what did you do in the town of Goon River?
Well, I owned a little shop called Needful Knickknacks. And we had all sorts of little knickknacks that everybody needed. They had special healing powers, like crystals, but these are knickknacks. You can find anything you've always wanted. Like when you were a kid and you wanted that toy car that you could just put together, that little Camaro with the little doors that open. We have that. We have it all.
That's cool. Now, what was the name of it again? Was it Meaningful or
Needful Knickknacks.
Needful Knickknacks?
You got it.
Now, it's not only knickknacks, but you said it has something to do with alternative medicine. Did you not say that?
Well, I guess it could be referred to as alternative medicine. They have powers. Some are healing and some have evil spirits connected to them, but all different powers. Every object in life has a power to it. It has an energy. So different energies to different objects.
Kind of kind of like Kit the talking Trans Am in Knight Rider.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Now, there's a question on the table whether or not they're going to build an alternative medical center. Are you for it or against it, Betty?
No, we do not need an alternative medical center. We have Carl with his underground business. And we have my beautiful, needful knickknack shop where you can get everything you've ever wanted.
Well, all right.
Yes.
All right. All right. Then I'm going to move on now to Dolly Winthrop. Dolly, what did you do in the town of Goon River?
Beauty shop.
Oh, yes. Stylist extraordinary. You see, I didn't know if that was a beauty stylist or like a rap freestylist.
No, it's beauty. Even a small town, Scotty, needs beautiful people.
They need rap too. There's the outer fulfillment, but also the inner poetry fulfillment.
Yes, I suppose, but not in my establishment.
All right.
My establishment is making the outer beauty that one thinks they should exhibit to what they think they are on the inside.
And might I just say, you are coiffed. You look very together. You look very put together.
Scotty.
What was that? I only heard the last.
I said, well, thank you, Scotty, for recognizing this exterior reflection of the inner beauty.
Oh, great. See, that's all I'm after. Now I'm assuming everybody in Goon River comes to your shop. What's the shop called?
The shop is called Dolly's Doily.
Dolly's Doily. And
Yes.
Needful Knickknacks. Wow, we do like alliteration in Goon River. We should call it Rune River. So Dolly, let's get right to it. The proposal on the table. Are you for it or against it? Are you for the alternative medicine or against it?
I am for the alternative medicine.
Are you now? Why is
Because-
that?
Why? Because Carl is underground, and we all know what goes on underground does not see the beauty of the light of day, and therefore it is not good for people.
Yeah, I would think one of the reasons that I want to see a doctor is to stay above the ground.
You would think. You would fit right in, Scotty.
You could be a great anesthetist. You'd be an anesthesiologist. They always the ones that make the jokes in the operating room.
It's because they're high. They're high as balls.
The ones that pass gas.
Of course they are. Hey, on that note, I'm going to go and chat with Agnes B. McGillicuddy. Agnes, do tell, what did you do in Goon River?
Oh, I was a librarian.
Oh, how interesting. I did not know that there was a library in Goon River.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was another one of those projects that we really had to push for, and there was a vote for that as well. But I convinced everyone that it would be a good idea, and so they decided to just let me run it.
Now, not to rat anybody out, but who is for the library and who is against the library? Because who would be against a library? They're wonderful places.
Well, I'd rather not say because it was a very conflicting time, and I'd rather just keep that in the past.
You can say it's just us. They can't hear us.
Well, actually, Dolly was a little bit against it, but I did convince her. I made her a nice little bundt cake, and she came around.
Bundt cake.
Yes, it's the one with the hole in it.
Yes. Oh, yes. I like a good bundt. And who else was who was against it? We want to know who was against it.
Well, I mean, Betty, but I just
Betty was against it.
I don't think I don't know. It was a long time ago, and I just would rather not go there.
It might be that she sells books at her knick-knack shop, and so she'd be jealous about that. How about Carl? Carl seems like he would hate a library. He seems like a library hater.
Well, Carl is actually kind of into a lot of the things that are out of the norm, and so he was kind of the one that was pushing for it, surprisingly.
So it was you and Carl against Dolly and Betty, and you swung Dolly. Oh, aren't you? See, you're more political. You're very smart.
I'm swingable.
So that's what we heard. Now, Agnes, so you're the librarian in town. Now, tell me about this alternative medicine place. Were you for it or against it?
I'm for it.
Oh, you are for it.
Yes.
Interesting.
I have loads of books. They're in the restricted section because most people in this town are against things that are different. But sure. I'm trying to convince them that if they just spend 5 minutes with some of these books, they might be enlightened and we could have, I don't know, a little boost in our economy. And you never know how your life might change.
Right. Just get a little healthier or something. Dynamite. All right. So I want to move forward in time and make this announcement. And the announcement is this, that the town council decided to go ahead and build the alternative medical center. As much as it annoyed Carl and Betty, Dolly and Agnes swung the town council, and so it was being built. And I want to fast forward now to the day before it opened. There were preparations for a big opening day of the alternative medical center. And I'm going to check in with each of you about what you were doing the day before. Some of you were for it and some of you were against it. And I want to know what you were doing if you were against it, what you were doing to fight against it. And if you were for it, I want you to tell me what you were doing to prepare for the opening. So let's dive in the same order. Carl, I understand you were against this thing.
Yeah, well, I shot
the day before.
Well, shortly, I was over by Agnes, over there by the library, and I was reading some special books.
Yeah.
I heard a variety of people talking about this idea of having, if you will, a alternative clinic. And I had told them there and then that if they do, they're not welcome in my office or in my office.
Am I crazy, or do you have an accent that you didn't have in the first round, Carl? It feels like now you got kind of a Boston thing going on. Do you have Roman?
I don't know where he heard that.
Probably just me. You know what? It's Zoom. There's a lot of interference. We don't even know what's going on. Okay. Then let's check in with Betty about the day before.
Yeah, what?
No, it's all right. Betty, the day before it opened, you were also against this clinic. You did not get your way. They decided to open it. So the day before the big opening, what were you doing?
Well, I was in my store and I had a customer. Of course, it was Carl. He was coming in to look for a little toy that he used to have when he was a kid. It was a little robot that kind of goes like this. And of course, I have this robot, but Carl didn't have money to pay for it. So we worked out a little deal where, no, it's not that kind of deal.
No. Neither was I suggesting it. No, it sounds underground.
It is underground. It's very underground. So
Right.
when you make a deal, you have to sign a contract, and then things sometimes happen.
So what was the quid pro quo? What did
Well,
you get for the robot?
He gets the robot, and he has to do something to the project. Yeah.
Sabotage?
A little sabotage, just they're coming in with machines to do like some kind of fancy acupuncture where they kind of sit you in a bed instead of like having a doctor put each needle in. They just kind of shoot them all into you at the same time, like a bed of nails. And he is going to disable the machine.
That was called he's gonna sabotage the Iron Maiden. That's what that was. You thought it was just a band name, but it was a thing with the pokey bits. Very interesting. The plot thickens. So let's go now to Dolly. Dolly, you were for this. You were getting your way. There was going to be a big celebration the next day. What were you doing to get ready?
Everybody beautiful, styling them, moistening, doing facials, doing massages, skin treatments, so that they would be beautiful to absorb the needles in their body without damage. And then it would put them in a state of bliss. I am pre-bliss.
Oh, you're pre-bliss. Okay. Well, and everybody looks lovely, by the way, everybody to a person.
Well, yes, I make everyone unique. Make their outside match the beauty on their inside shine out. And then when this Iron Maiden, as you call it, shoots all at once inside their body, it fixes all the organs.
Sure. Hey, my inner self has a full head of hair, so I'll talk to you later.
Okay, I can make that work for you.
I'd like to have hair again. Agnes, now you also were for the big alternative medical center, so you also got your way. How were you preparing for the big opening?
Well, at first I had to organize all my books because I knew I had one on a particular form of acupuncture that I thought Carl really should get his hands on. So I was searching for that. And then I remembered that Dolly had said she had an opening for a haircut. So I quickly ran over to Carl, gave him the book, and then I went to Dolly and got this beautiful chic look. So yeah.
Well, you do. Your hair looks really, really nice, and I noticed earrings, very classy, very classy. I don't know if Dolly picked your earrings for you, or I don't know.
These were actually an old gift from Carl, but that was a secret.
Wow! So you and Carl? Wow! Okay. We're learning all sorts of interesting things about Goon River tonight, and unfortunately, I have to talk about the unfortunate, terrible events of the day of the big opening, because we all know what happened on the day of the big opening. Let's again start with you, Carl. I understand that you had agreed with Betty to somehow sabotage the big opening. So what happened to you on the day of the opening?
Oh, yeah. Well, I was also working with all of the different people in the town to be able to find out what they were actually going to bring to the town. And I found out that they were going to use the acupressure machine. Now, I have an acupuncture machine, and I have been using it for years and years, bringing tremendous satisfaction to many of the people there in this town.
And what happened to you, though? So you went there early, I'm assuming. What happened to you?
Well, I was fixing the machine, and I had turned it on, and unfortunately, it stuck me one pin at a time over 1,000 times.
I thought it was supposed to be pleasurable.
Well, not. Sometimes it is, and sometimes I hear echoes in my head.
Yeah, we all hear those. So you were punctured thousands of times and you died.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so sad. I'm so sorry about that.
Well, it's okay because I went to a better place.
Well, here, which is pretty nice. Let's talk to you, Betty. I understand you were the first person on the scene after Carl was punctured.
Yes. Well, I went to go make sure he was going to follow through on his commitments because it was a deal's a deal. A contract is a contract. And he was distracted because he's in love with Agnes and he just couldn't focus. So he went to dismantle the machine, and all the needles are set up to go, in certain spots, and they only go a certain amount deep so they don't really injure you. And so when you mess with it, even if it's a little bit off, that's it. It's really dangerous. I don't know why people will want to use this thing to begin with. But anyway, so he was distracted and he wound up hitting something, getting stuck in the machine, and one thing over and over and over and over and over, right into his skull. And there was blood all over the place. So I went in, I tried to pry the thing off of him. I tried to pry it up.
You're just gonna save him.
Yeah, of course. But it's a machine. So it's set to just go boom, boom, boom. So I'm holding it. I got I'm using all my strength. And I slip on his blood. And boom, boom. Hit my head right on the concrete. Done.
You just slipped and fell after all that?
Slipped and fell, I know.
Oh, well, it's very common. Very common in Arkansas.
As I'm passing out and going onto the other side, I see that little needle going boom, boom, boom. It just wouldn't stop.
Yeah, it took Carl quite a long time to die. Sorry about that. So, Dolly, I understand that then you were arriving in order to start up the festivities, and you saw this. So, what happened to you?
I did. Not only that, what really initially brought me over early was I heard this sound that didn't sound like a properly running machine. Oh no, this beloved project, something could go wrong. So I ran over, and there was Carl. Boing, 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 boing.
Took forever.
Yes. And it was messing his hair that I had styled. So I tried to fix it a little bit, thinking maybe that would work. And then I tripped over Betty. I didn't even see her. This machine was so overwhelming, and Carl was just boing, 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 that I tripped over Betty. When I tripped over Betty, I could not get my balance, and my arm got caught in a boing.
Sure.
And it hit an artery, and I exsanguinated myself, spurting blood, moving me back and forth.
Exsanguinated? Exsanguinated? I love that word. Say it for me.
Yes, it is exsanguinate. All the blood in my body left, and it wasn't pretty.
That's the French word for blood, sang.
Yes.
Exsanguinated. Oh, I love that. Okay, I'm very sorry that you died, but I learned a new word. So
I'm there. Boing, boing, boing.
I'm sorry, darling.
Spurt.
Now, Agnes, when you arrived, a couple of them were still alive. I mean, Carl, that took almost 3 days. And Dolly, I mean, that doesn't happen. You arrived. What happened?
Well, To be honest, I actually didn't notice any of that because I was getting my hair done with Dolly when we found out what was going on and all of the commotion. And so I ran to my library because I thought I have just the books that can help us with machine malfunction and acupuncture malfunction and how to clean up blood. And I mean, the list goes on. And I thought, I'm going to go get every resource that I have, and then I'm going to join them there and solve all the problems. So by the time I got there, I was holding a stack of books about this high, and I couldn't see where I was going. And when I walked through, I was struggling, and I slipped on some of the blood, and I fell backwards. I hit my head, and all of my books crushed me. And that's how I died.
Oh, so you didn't die like Betty with a bang to the head by being crushed by books. Poor Dolly, her hand is still stuck in the air like that. Are you okay, Dolly?
I'm dying.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're still going. Agnes, I'm so sorry to hear that you went that way. And isn't it ironic that you'd still be alive today if instead of going to the library, you just Googled it?
Oh, I don't believe in those things. I like my books.
Yeah, who doesn't? They even smell nice. Well, I want to, you know what? I know that this was an unfortunate event. I want to thank you for, finally Dolly's gone. Takes Carl another couple of days, but Dolly's gone. I want to thank you for reliving this horrible experience. I want to thank the actors. Sandi and Angélica and Dawn and Stephanie for playing wonderful characters, and I want to thank you for watching Improv on a Friday night. And if you stick around, I promise there will be more. We'll be right back.